What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I figured I'd talk to you guys a little bit about my experiences playing Diablo 3. We'll be talking about questions, comments, criticisms, concerns, complaints, feedback, all that different kind of stuff. I figured I'd let you guys know where I've been, where I'm at with this game, and everything else like that. Now, if you guys didn't know, Diablo 3 came out with a new season, Season 4. You start out level 1, no Paragon levels, no gear, you're killing zombies in the woods, just like day 1. And honestly, guys, I told myself, I told you guys even, I was not going to start playing this game again. I was not going to get back into it. But I fucking lied because I did, alright? And I lasted 2 days, okay? I lasted 2 days into the season, pat myself on the back, 2 days I didn't play the game. But my buddies, they got me back into it, and I've been playing it again, and honestly, I have not really been playing that much. I have 105, I think, hours on my account, and so if you divide that out between the amount of days that I've been playing, it's only about 7 hours per day, so, I mean, honestly, I've been pretty casual. But I'll tell you guys something, is that for about 100 of those 105 hours, I've had the best fucking time ever, sitting here on my what is this, a desk and a chair? Yep. Sitting here, vibrating, getting golden showers with some green in there with some set items, but mostly just legendaries, having the best fucking time ever playing this game. I'm about Paragon 600, let's see, Greater Rift, I think I'm like 30th or 40th around there on the ladder for Greater Rifts. Been doing pretty well with that. I cleared 63, just waiting on a good Greater Rift for 64, which has not happened. We'll be talking about that for sure. And, besides that, and also some set items that I've not gotten either. Really, really fun game. And so, first, before I really get into the criticisms too much, well, actually, I want to tell you guys pretty much one thing that I'll be kind of going back and forth, honestly. Now, one thing that is really kind of a problem is that, like, right now, whenever you start out the game, I mean, like, right now with me, I'll tell you something, right now I'm playing a slot machine that I have a 99% chance to lose, okay? So I'm just lose, fuck, and I'm getting real upset about it. But whenever you start playing the game, you get your character, you're just leveling up, killing zombies, no big fucking deal. You finally get up to level 70, any orange that drops, any set items, any legendary drops, all that stuff is going to be an upgrade for you. It's like you have a 100% chance to win, right? But as you get more and more things, diminishing returns start to kick in, and obviously, once you get all of your legendary items, you get all of your set items, and they haven't really fixed really a lot of the RNG problems. They have in a way, but it still really does come down to RNG. It's just you're pulling that lever so many fucking times that it's not just, let's be real, guys. It's you're pushing the button on the Skinner box. That's what we're really doing. Like, let's be real. But you're pushing that button, getting those pellets, so many pellets, okay, and you're bound to get the right kinds of pellets. But whenever you get into the special pellets, the ancient pellets, okay, and ancient, since this is a Warcraft channel, it's Warforged, okay? Real simple. Just keep people playing the game. And so, obviously, like, then you get into there, and those pellets are a lot more rare. And especially, I'll tell you, one of the specific ones that's very rare is Veer's shoulders. Whew, man, so Ancient is about 1 in 10 chance, right? And I've gone through about 40 pairs of Veer's shoulders. 40 pairs. And yeah, I'm mad. I'm sweating. And all right, I'm halfway sweating because this is the third time I've recorded this. Guess what? My mic was on mute for 2 times. First one I thought was a video recorder. Second time I figured out was the mic. And so hopefully the third time this is what you guys will actually see. Anyway, very, very frustrating. But even before that, I was so mad. I've been sitting here mad all day trying to do Greater Rifts, and I have not gotten the right one, and there's so many different levels of RNG, but they have done a lot of really great things with the game, and I'll tell you guys that for sure. All right, now Season 4 is so much better than whenever the game came out and I quit. I quit like a month into Reaper of Souls. I played the game in vanilla. I killed Inferno, really quickly. I cleared Hardcore Inferno, got Paragon 100. Fucking no life. All right, and so anyway, I played the game a lot, and so I figured that okay, I'll try it out again. And there have been a lot of really good changes. Kanai's Cube, which is basically a Philosopher's Stone. You put some stuff in, you get something better out. Equivalent exchange. I think we've all seen Full Metal Alchemist. And so anyway, that's really, really cool. And so you can put in a bunch of different stuff. Basically a blue item, like in Warcraft speak, a blue item with some crafting materials, and it turns it into an epic item, and that's great, right? And so a lot of these things have been added into the game to kind of negate these RNG aspects, but really it's just more levers or more buttons to push for more pellets. Now, honestly, as I said, I have been having a really good amount ton of fun. But I will tell you guys something right now. Okay, let me see. Like whenever I first started playing the game, like everybody was playing. Like everybody on my friends list. I couldn't go on Reddit. I couldn't even go on Twitch. Right? I couldn't even go on Twitch because it might trigger a relapse. Okay, and hey, we saw it happen anyway. So I didn't want to do any of that. So I didn't even want to open up my friends list because everybody was on Diablo 3, right? And I'll check and see how many people are in Diablo 3 now. Okay, one person, and he's AFK. He's been AFK for like 3 hours. I mean, okay, it's 7:30 in the morning, so okay, yeah, it's not really, probably not a lot of people on it, but like whenever, a couple weeks ago, whenever the season came out, I mean, 7:30, it's a fucking party. Like, the night is young. So honestly, I think that like really the diminishing returns of getting more and more gear, and then less gear becomes an upgrade, and that's really kind of what it really comes down to. And there are less things for you to do, less things for you to explore. Progression is slower, and all that kind of stuff. And that can be really kind of frustrating for a lot of people, including myself. And really for a lot of people, if you look at the popularity of Diablo, usually it spikes whenever whenever a season comes out, and then it just kind of goes down from there. And usually towards the end of the season, almost nobody gives a shit. And so I think that one of the main reasons for that is that once you do get up into those levels, it's very hard for you to really seek returns and seek rewards. And so you've really got about 3 different options. You can keep beating your head against the wall, pulling the lever, trying to get those upgrades. You can make a new character. I've been thinking about making a Crusader. I don't really know if I will or not. Or, of course, you can quit. Right, and so those 3 options, those are really pretty much all you can do, right? But honestly, it's been pretty frustrating for me to try and push the greater rifts. And greater rifts are kind of like the mode of progression in the game. They're how you can say that I've achieved more, and like it's the main form of competition in the game, which is what I really kind of usually go for. Now, greater rifts, there's like 3 different levels. 5. All right, so we've got the basic levels, okay? And the basic levels is like, all right, you zone into the rift, and hopefully by the time you get out of the loading screen, you're not dead because an elite spawned at the beginning of the rift because it was programmed to put there, and then it ran there and killed you while you're on the loading screen, and now you're fucked, right? But hopefully that didn't happen, and really hopefully you're not playing hardcore if that happened. But even so, let's say that doesn't happen, okay? So that's great, all right? Then you have to make sure that you get the right tile set, which is basically the right map. I don't know why they call it the right tile set. Now, each different class, each different spec, each different build has different advantages for different types of areas. So some classes function better in corridor areas, and some function better in large open areas fighting lots of mobs. Now, I function best in more mobs the better. Like, as a general rule, if I'm pulling enough mobs, like if I know what's going on, what the fuck is going on, I'm not pulling enough mobs. And so for me, I have to be always pulling mobs, always, and so like in a little corridor, like that, in like the sewers, Act 2 sewers or Act 5, whatever those things, I hate that area. In one of those areas, there's no way I can really realistically pull enough mobs in order to beat the timer at a very high level rift. And so that's one level of RNG. And then the second level of RNG is the mobs that spawn. Now, you can get zombies who move at about 10% of the normal speed, do basically no damage, and hey, you win the game, right? It's great. But usually that's not what happens. Usually what you like to get is what's called enraged phantoms or enraged spirits. I'm not sure really which one. Now, you would think that these 2 things would be exclusive. Extremely high direct damage and unavoidable damage. You'd be wrong. You'd be really, really fucking wrong. Because the enraged spirits, they like to channel a beam onto you that you can't stop this beam, you can't interrupt them. Well, you can stun them, of course, but there's no real interrupt mechanics in Diablo, and so they channel a beam onto you that does more damage than basically anything else in the entire game, and at the same time, they're able to move it around, because they're fucking ghosts, right? Like, I mean, so they're moving around all the time, there's no gravity for them, just like channeling this beam on you, killing you, and they're in an area that you can't even hit. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so it's extremely frustrating. And so there are a lot of times whenever that would happen to me, everything is going well, and then Rage Spirit. Fuck. And that was just so upsetting. And honestly, that's happened to me too many times to count. And of course, like you can say, okay, get better gear. There's only so much gear that you can get, and then whenever you get enough toughness to withstand the damage, and you don't have enough damage to kill the mobs in time, and so there's always this give and take. And realistically, it just seems kind of ridiculous because there are other spirits in the game. Well, I mean, I guess those ones aren't enraged, but there are other spirits in the game. I mean, you'd think the Shadow of Death, which is another spirit, would do more damage than that. But no, it doesn't. It does like a third of the damage. It really makes no sense. And so that can be very, very frustrating. And so let's say you get the right map. You get the right map. You're in Spires, Act 4, and it's full of fucking zombies, right? Perfect, okay? Perfect. And then you clear the bar. You've got, 4 or 5 minutes left to kill the Rift Guardian, and you get Blighter, okay? And if you get Blighter, you turn off the fucking game because it's not going to happen. I mean, like, I can kill Bloodmaw, Perdition, Tethius, Perindi, and probably 8 or 9 of the different Rift Guardians very, very easily. But Blighter, no, can't fucking kill him. And for whatever reason, his melee attacks just do 3 times as much as anybody else's. Why? I don't know. It makes absolutely no sense. And he also has range attacks that you can't really avoid. And so he just puts his hand to the ground, woohoo, and you're dead. It really sucks. And so a lot of these things can be extremely frustrating. And then there's, of course, another level of RNG of making sure that you get the correct pylons. Now, pylons, one pylon makes it to where you don't take any damage. Another one makes it to where you have infinite resources. Another one makes it to where you have these little electric things that come out from you and kill everything around. That's the best one, by the way. And, so you have to make sure that you get those in the right time. But the more and more, whenever you get higher and higher up into the rift levels, and if you're not really going 55 plus, it's probably an issue with either you or your gear and not really the, something that's an RNG factor. You can really negate those. Usually I can farm 55s. I do those just kind of pretty casually. And so a lot of other classes can as well, and wizards aren't really very strong right now anyway. And so anyway, there are all these different elements, and so once you really get up into the higher tiers of things, everybody's gear is somewhat equal. Everybody's skill is somewhat equal. And so these RNG factors play an increasingly bigger role. And so, it's more and more important for you to be able to have those RNG factors on your side. And it can be more and more frustrating whenever they're not, which is usually. And so, that's one of the big problems that I do have with the game, is especially with the greater rifts, there are some where you just do really great and some where you do really bad. And some of the monsters that do ridiculous amounts of damage and they jump on top of you and you can't move. That's really fun. And then, I forgot what I said before with if I don't know what the fuck is going on, then if I do, then I have not pulled enough monsters. Well, the thing is that whenever I do pull enough monsters and I don't know what the fuck is going on, I'm not the only one. The game doesn't know either because it lags out and I die. Really, really fun. And honestly, so again, for me, it's just okay, I'm mad, fuck, and, whatever. But if you're playing hardcore, I mean, I don't really consider that very fair for the game to lag out and kill your character because of something that's not even really under your control. And that's stupid, right? It's stupid. It's obviously not the way it's supposed to function. And so, I guess having any sort of a hardcore mode in an online game seems like kind of a, stupid thing to do, but I guess people can do whatever. Anyway, so that's a really big frustrating aspect of it, and all of these other things kind of come together to be frustrating for people, and I think that's one of the reasons why you see so much turnover, and whenever people whenever they start playing the game and they get into it, they have fun, and then that diminishing returns kick in, and more of the RNG factors kick in, and it becomes less and less fun. Paragon levels are at least some sort of a way for them to negate that, but it's still the core issues are in the game. The RNG that's basically prevalent throughout the entire game. A lot of the different affixes. There are some affixes that are just infinitely more stronger than others, especially with certain types of monsters. Fire change is very easy to deal with some big monsters, and it's very difficult to deal with smaller ones. And so, especially Frozen, come the fuck on. It's really kind of ridiculous. The discrepancy between them, and it's not that it's really it's just kind of whenever things are really not fair. I think that you guys probably know by now that I really do not like it whenever things are really super unfair or just random, and because that means that whenever you lose, it's because of you just lose randomly, and you win randomly, and so there's not really that same sense of reward and accomplishment when basically everything just lined up to give you a straight shot to the finish line. Not really very exciting, is it? And so I mean another thing I'll say too is that solo play, I'm more of a solo player. Honestly, I don't really like to play in groups or anything like that because it's just not really what I'm into. And solo play is less than 75%. This is what people have said, less than 75% as efficient as playing in a group. And so like right now I could probably be at Paragon 7 or 800 if I've been playing a group the whole time. And so that's also pretty frustrating, is that there are not really any incentives to play solo. All of the incentives are in group play, especially with bounties. Like if you're doing bounties, obviously you're completing bounties at like 1/4 the speed at which you would in a group. And of course, like playing with friends should be incentivized, but I think to the extent that it is now is really kind of ridiculous. And I would really like to see that be toned a little bit down. Besides that, I'm trying to. Oh, another thing. This is something. Well, it's just that I don't really play in groups, but I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this. Is that Blizzard likes? I mean, we've played Warcraft, and so we know what it's like. Blizzard does not really like to have people get kicked out of groups because of unfair reasons. And so what they've done instead is make it to where people can stay in a group with unfair, basically unfairly, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if somebody sits AFK at the beginning of the instance, you clear the instance because it would be faster than waiting to kick them out. Same thing goes in Diablo. If somebody joins the group, you can't kick them out, and they sit in town, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's really kind of frustrating. And for me, like that would just drive me insane. But luckily, I don't really play a lot of that kind of stuff, and so it's not really too big of a deal. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to let you guys know pretty much where I'm at, kind of playing the game. I haven't really played since, as I said, the beginning of Reaper of Souls, and so they have made a lot of really great improvements with the game. Legendary gems are cool. The upgrades and the greater rifts are fun. The Kanai's cube is great. All those things are really good. It's just, I wish that you could do something more to, I guess, like determine what kind of a greater rift you got, and maybe some more player controls, and maybe solo player incentivization. That would be pretty cool. But honestly, I think that some people might be wondering, like, should I play Diablo 3? Now, I mean, honestly, if you have fun with those kinds of games, yeah, I'd say go ahead. I mean, like, I've had fun playing it, as I said, and I mean, really, 100 hours into a game is kind of a lot of time, and most games don't really take even that long to beat and get done with. And so for at least my I don't know, like in my opinion, it's definitely gotten it's been worthwhile, and it's been pretty entertaining. But anyway, guys, if you guys, I want to say right now, let me know. Like, I know that a lot of people have been complaining about this, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about this whole thing as well, because I know that usually, like, we do Warcraft videos, and I mean, I'm not gonna, it's not like I'm stopping playing Warcraft, right? But I just got kind of bored killing 10 and jungle rares and checking garrison missions, right? I mean, realistically, they really need to come up with some new fucking content, because it's getting ridiculous. And I mean, we're going to be doing Warcraft videos probably in the next couple of days. But I figured I'd make a Diablo video, or not really even a Diablo video, just talking to you guys about the game, just so you know pretty much what's going on, where I'm at, and I guess like even just kind of like my opinions about the whole thing in general. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got. Let me know if you've been playing the game. Let me know what your experiences are. But thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.